Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of our Let's Play series, episode 100, the World Tour, the 3 years World Tour even. And for this World Tour I will try to be very concise and not talk too much about the stuff we built, otherwise this video would be 3 hours long. And also I will show the statistics at the start of the video, just in case you are curious to see something. Like, for example, 1,000,001 villager trades, or 0.62 years played, which is about 5,420 hours. And a lot of netherrack mined, 13 million. Stone, whatever, who cares how much we mined. We used a lot of pickaxes and glass. And crafted a lot of TNT. I don't know what you guys are interested in seeing. And we killed 8 million zombified piglins. Yeah, I don't know. Who cares about the stats? Let's see the builds. And the first build is actually the one we are right now. It's my nether hub. And as you can see, it's kind of like a honeycomb or a beehive. And each of the honeycombs go to a portal or to a tunnel that goes somewhere in the nether, right? And I also like to use these banners to represent where we are going. So for example, that banner that looks like a shulker, guess what? It's a shulker farm. So yeah, let's go to the next builds. And here we are at the 420 by 420 nether perimeter. There is no netherrack here, gold walls. This is a blaze farm. We have bee dancing here. We have the bee statue here. We have a lot of gases noise. That is actually gases on minecarts to push the blazes. That's how the farm works if we turn on the farm here. There it is. The gases push the blazes to the center. And we just get a sword and kill the blazes and repair my elytra, I guess. And this stuff in the ground here is music. It's the Roots Sandstorm, which I found a tutorial to do the note blocks, and I added the dispensers that do a firework show. No, it's not this button, it's this button. There we go, see? It's playing the music and doing explosions, it's too much noisy. Okay, we don't have time to see the whole show. Next build. Next we have our Froglight farm perimeter that we dug in one string, a 46-hour string, because it's fun to mine in Minecraft and it's fun to get froglights and stuff and giant magmas, giant frogs, and this frog is eating an Australian magma cube. A lot of glass for fog effect, mangrove leaves and all that. Yeah, that's it for this perimeter. And our next perimeter is a guest farm that we did for a shared string, a charity week actually. And we have Atamami, Mint Block, Meow Emma Lizard, Madroko, Gabby Beans, Caster, Lark, Such. That are the people that help donating for the charity, the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, that does research for cancer. And we help the charity. And now the guests love us. And all the guests are always throwing kisses at us. And we have the Gazrity, the guest for charity here. Let's get out of here before I die. And the next perimeter is the most recently one. It's the one based on the Twin Peaks series. That is the headroom. Wait, but this is not big enough for a perimeter. Ah, but there is a button here. Ouch. So yeah, this is supposed to be a hoglin farm, but it's obviously a very inefficient one. It's better if we drink a night vision potion here. Yeah, now you can see, and we have to dig the perimeter in a diagonal, so the floor looks correct according to what it looks in the series. And yeah, the way this farm, this mega super efficient farm works is we throw diamond armor at piglins so they have a chance and they try to kill the hoglins. And yeah, it's very slow, but sometimes the piglins dance, so it's worth it. Okay, it was worth the mining all this just to see the piglins dancing. Next we have our wither skeleton farm, that it's not a perimeter yet, but one day we will mine this whole thing. We don't need a perimeter because it's in a Soul Sand Valley, but kinda cringe having a perimeter for a hoglin farm and not having a perimeter for a wither skeleton farm. And apparently a guest shot 2 buttons here. That's another reason to have a perimeter. And yeah, this farm put pumpkins in the wither skeleton's head to remove them from the mob cap, as you can see. And it was designed by our friend TetraDB. And our next perimeter is on the other side of this portal. But down there we have another portal where the creepers come from the perimeter and die, and there is a bunch of shulker box loaders, that these empty shulker boxes come back here as full shulkers of gunpowder. 69 shulkers of gunpowder per hour. If you want to see how to build this farm, go to episode 69 of the series. Because as you can see from the other side here, we can't see the farm because it's under those headstone slabs, but basically it spawn the creepers, remove a block, the creeper falls in a water stream and get inside a portal. And we also have the deep sleeper here, part of our lore. And yeah, usually I stay in here mining trees or chopping trees while the farm works. Here's the button to turn on and off the farm. Okay, now we are at spawn. This is the portal that takes us to the Nether hub. And we have a mob switch down here. As you can see, there is some zone villagers. Right now the mob switch is off, so we can show the farms working during the world tour. And here we have a totem, I guess, I don't know, a monument for all the beacons. We have one of each beacon. And this block here is the exactly spawn point of the world. And when we throw anything in the end portal, it comes here, because here we have a sorter, a variable item sorter, that we can change what sorts. So for example, I can sort stuff from my battering farm, I can sort stuff from mining a perimeter, or recently, for example, I was mining some hills here at spawn and I was sorting the stone, the dirt, everything here. And this is a chunk loader for the mob switch in the Nether. We also have a mob switch in the Nether. And here I have a secret exit here. And another thing we built recently, which is actually my best build, I think, is the Vexplosion here in the Fiery Forest. This is also part of the lore. Oh, and by the way, the lore is related to the netherite beacon that we just saw. So it was actually the last world tour when we completed the netherite beacon, and it released the energy that fused with mobs. Like this Vex got fused with fire energy and turned it into the Vexplosion. And this is the lore build for Moose, because Moose watched a lot of streams in Twitch and got a lot of points, and the Vexplosion shoots TNT from the ice. And yeah, this was a really challenge building, because I'm not really used to do building with this much detail and gradients, and very far away from my comfort zone. But it turned out great, I think. And also very close to spawn, you can see our beacons there, the Vexplosion. We have this monument that is the last netherrack temple that we did for this piece of netherrack. That was the last one in the 420 by 420 perimeter. And recently I added a functionality to this, is to store bulk storage, like we have Endstone, Gunpowder, Netherrack, there is stone, cobblestone, blackstone, basalt, a lot of stuff that we have in bulk we store here now. And very close to our last Netherrack temple, we have the Alais Islands, with the Airlay there, also an elemental from our lore. And this is just some floating islands in the castle that we built for the Allays. So yeah, there is a bunch of Allays here, and if we ever needed to duplicate an Allay, we have music discs and amethyst and everything here. Okay, now we have some farms here that I don't use that much, so I'm gonna go very fast. This is a copper farm I did a long time ago. I designed, but it's kind of useless because we can mine copper faster. And these stone pillars here is geodes that we have down here to farm amethyst. This is a drone farm to get tridents and nautilus shell, but it's also very slow. This is a bad omen farm. There is an outpost down there, so the pillagers spawn here, and we can get bad omen. And we have this simple raid farm. It's not one of those crazy stacking raid farms, it's just a simple one. We need a couple totems, but I actually don't use that anymore since I built this. This is a Coliseum to fight raids. Underneath here, yeah, inside here we have a bunch of pistons and stuff that generate stone, right? We have pistons and cobblestone generators, or stone generators and basalt generators. So usually we fight a raid here and also a wither, and these dispensers shoot TNT every once in a while, and some mobs spawn on uh, those dark place here that I couldn't get in, because if there is a creeper here I might die. It's fine. Let's turn this off. And there we have a creeper farm that we can also get discs. There is a skeleton behind here that can shoot the creepers, so we can get discs. And we can also move the creepers through there, where we use a trident with channeling during a thunderstorm to get charged creepers. And then we have a simple mob farm here to get zombies, skeletons, and creepers. And we get a charged creeper and get mob heads this way. And very close to these farms, we have my desert base. That was the first base I ever built, so yeah, mostly it's just stuff for aesthetics, but there is some functionality here, like we have a trading hall here with all the enchanted books and some masons and one of each profession. We have a sheep farm there, we have some wheat farms and stuff there, we have this cake farm, and yeah, some other builds here. Yeah, as I said, we have villagers here with all the books. We have a dance floor here that we can play some music and do the parrot dance. Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I get copyrighted. And as you can see, very close to our desert base, we have our gold farm. This is how we got all those gold blocks for the 420 by 420 perimeter walls. It's basically a bunch of portal spam, and the piglins find some turtle eggs that are here, these trapdoors, and they fall down there where I uh, just hit an armor stand to kill them. See if I can get inside there. First try. And yeah, we just get this sword, hit the armor stand and kill them. Okay, this is an attempt of a western city, a western town, I guess. So yeah, I did a few buildings here, and yeah, I like it. the way it turned out. We even have a train station there with a train coming in. There is a mine shaft here with an elevator and all that. We have a church here. Master inside the church. So yeah, I really like this build. Maybe we could come back here and make some more stuff, but I'm really proud. I'm learning how to build, okay? This is another project that I did just to learn how to build in Oriental style. Yeah, I think I really like each build, but together they don't make it too much sense. It's too much different block palettes and styles. Right, there is this one. My attempt of cherry trees. Maybe after I update to 1.20 I will use the real cherry trees. This is cherry tree. We have cherry tree at home. And there is also some functionality to this build, is like this one. We can farm seagrass. And inside this one, we have turtles that we can breed and farm turtle eggs. But other than that, is just aesthetic builds. This is another project for me to learn how to build, but this is very recent, so you can check very recent episodes. We built a village here that was a mushroom island, and we tried to build a house for every profession of villagers and brought a bunch of villagers here, are working, breeding, and living here. This build here is a guardian farm, as you can see. A bunch of guardians spawning there and following these campfires. You can also turn off the campfires and kill the guardians with a looting sword if you want. But yeah, it's a cool build, very, very cool, and one of the oldest builds in the world, I think. It's not a full printer, but it looks really cool. But of course, I mind the build bedrock, but then they added the deep slate, so the farm is not as fast anymore. And another build we have here, this is the another portal you can't see because of the water. It's an underwater build I did just because I wanted to do underwater build. This is very like I don't know, could be much better. There's not too many builds here. It's not that great. But we do have some farms here. We have a pickle farm here. You can just turn this on and you get a bunch of sea pickles. And inside this kind of dome, I guess, we have a coral farm. If you press this button and have bone meal there, that would help. You have bone meal there, you can get some this coral. Speaking of farms, we have our ice farm here. With the ice screen, it's a boat that screens ice, part of the lore too. And it's a very simple ice farm. We just mine the ice and it will replenish because there's waterlogged slabs in the center here. We also have these flower farms that are a bunch of floating islands that you just turn on the lever and the shift the flowers, bone meal, and you farm the flower that you have there. I built this before they changed the way flower spawns, and after they changed it, half of my islands just spawn orange tulip now. But it's fine. I also have this shulker farm by ending credits, but I don't use it very much because this is one of those crazy farms that you use for a couple hours and then you don't ever need to use it again because it's crazy fast, as you can see. Another farm we have here is the Warden farm. This one I actually designed myself after, of course, watching a Umango video and seeing how it works. But basically we stand on the Shrieker there, and these observers will change the floor, the Warden will spawn, and then it removes the floor, the Warden falls there in the water. As you can see, there's a bunch of Wardens there. But the fun thing is you can get some arrows here and shoot the wardens down there. And yeah, the drops come through a water elevator and fall here. Me being 30 person, I think it's easier to see the warden spawning. I think we still need 2 more shriekers, strikers, whatever it's called. Oh, there it spawns very fast and already falls down. Let's see if we can see it now. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and we can shoot the wardens there. It's cool because then we can get a few warden kills. And that's the spawn portal. And right over here we have this build that we built a bunch of structures from the game, like a fortress, this woodland mansion we moved from 4,000 blocks away. There is some kind of outpost, drowned ruins, a witch hut that was actually already here, just expanded it. In the city, guardian temple, in the ancient city. And we actually moved a bunch of mobs here, like there's a shulker there. You see the guardians there. There is the warden inside the ancient city portal. Oh my god. And inside the mansion there is a bunch of mobs, like you can see there is ghasts, there is limes, there is phantoms, magmas, the horsemen, evokers, ravengers. There's a bunch of mobs there. I'm not gonna show everything here, it's gonna take 2 hours. Okay, so the next builds I need to show is the 3 strongholds on the first ring we have. And on this one we build the Octuntlis. It's a giant octagon. It's 512 blocks between that wall and that other one that is still loading. And this is supposed to be our farming district. This is where was a guardian temple, so we're gonna build a guardian farm there. I marked some slime chunks too to build a slime farm. And so far I only built these 3 farms, but this one I'm gonna have to rebuild it because I think I think I can build better, and I think it's gonna be in the way of another farm I wanna build. And here's the map. One of these I'm supposed to update, but I didn't. And as I said, this is a stronghold. And yeah, the stronghold portal is down there. And I did this too. And we had the libraries in the same height as the stronghold, so I decided to build this. And I kept a lot of the stronghold. There is stairs that go to underneath parts, so I think that's a cool thing. But yeah, there is a lot of work to be done here. Okay, the next stronghold is here in this jungle. The actual stronghold is down these stairs, as you can kind of see the portal there. And I did kind of restore the stronghold, like usually there is some walls missing, so I just restored and changed all the torches for lanterns. But the best part is on the surface here, so let's go back. Yeah, on the surface we built these houses here, which I think looks pretty cool. It's a lot of different block palettes in different shapes, but I think overall I'm happy with how this house is turned out. And also there is a tunnel here that takes us to a jungle temple. That's actually a maze, so if we go inside here, it's a maze, but it's a fun maze because it has doors that handle in close and open. And apparently sometimes break. Is this a chunk border? I don't know. Here you can see how the headstone works. There is a dropper that drops this item in a cobweb just to be a timer, I guess. And whenever the item comes here, if it's an item that stacks like this, it will just spit another one. But now that we got a shovel that doesn't stack, you will see that the doors we will actually toggle. So see, now the doors were closed and now it's open. No, it were open and now it's closed. So yeah, there is a bunch of those doors there, and yeah, the goal is to get to the center of the maze. Let's cheat a little bit, but the center of the maze has this gold pot here, and then you can just leave by pressing this button and getting out of the same door we entered. Okay, so we are getting to the last stronghold we needed to show, but first I want to show my veteran farm. It's very simple. You just throw, there's 64 piglins, just throw 64 ingots and place the trash in this trash can and whatever you want to keep here, and then you take all the shulkers and sort in the verboiting sorter I showed at spawn. But here is the portal to the last stronghold in the first ring. Okay, so the first part is the planets room, where we have a planet for every block that we mined more than 1,000,000, with a display showing how many million we have mined. And that one is for how many piglins we have killed, because we have that crazy gold farm I showed you guys before. Killed is 6.8 million piglins. And then down here we have a 1x1 hole, where we get some chartreuse fruit and map. And we eat the chartreuse fruit. Ah, there we go, first try. And we have this room that's made of a bunch of maps, as you can see. And if we hold the map in the hand, you can see that the stars start blinking. So it's pretty cool because it looks like we are floating in space. And I will show how I do this trick soon. One thing you have to know is that I'm using a resource pack to remove those markers in the map. Because usually you have player markers where the player is and those green markers where you placed the mapping item frames. So I'm using a resource pack to just remove those. Otherwise it would look very weird. Okay, so I ate a chartreuse fruit and get out of the planets or the stars map room. And now we are in this room, and as you can see, there's skulks down there. They lit up as I walk, but because of the night vision, we can't see. I will show when the night vision runs off. But here we have a place to appreciate the people that watch my streams, so they can redeem multiple times and get more armor stains and mob heads. So for example, here we have Tetra, we have Jamie, we have Pythro, we have Such, we have Wantomac, we have Madiroko, we have Mint Block, we have Satan, we have Moose, we have Kangden, we have Airline, we have Blackivit, and we have DJ Lumen. And also, whenever you get close to the armor stained, triggers a dispenser. It's a little bit way too dank, but yeah, it shoots fireworks. While the night vision doesn't run off, let me enter the secret passage here. And if we fly all the way to the top in this 1x1, we can see how the map works. So this is the area we made the map. And as you can see, the way we make the stars blink is just moving blocks up and down with pistons. There is a bunch of cringe binge headstone here. Okay, the night vision ran off, so now you can see how the skulk sensors lit up when I walk. Pretty cool. Okay, we are here in the end, but before I show the main in the island, there is one thing in this direction. That is the Lurkers Army 1. The one we were just now was is the Lurker Armors 2. And this is the one that we use to press a button here and get a random head or piece of armor, nitra, this kind of stuff. So yeah, you can see there's of armor stains, but it started to get too crazy to see where each armor stain was. So yeah, now we have one plot for single person, because and also we have these beacons here that I used to do a beacon for the subscribers on Twitch, but yeah, I stopped doing that. It is, but as we approach the main end island, that doesn't exist anymore because I mined it all the way back in February 2021. But yeah, here we have a status of a lot of people, the founders in Twitch, and also myself. And yeah, everyone is holding lightsaber, and I'm holding the dark saber, and I have a jetpack, the Mundog, I guess. I don't know. But it's just a cool way to thank people for subscribing on Twitch and all that. Oh, and we also have some map yards here, like the Heptomato, my face, and the very, very long neck from the guy 1604. That's also a clown. I always forget it's a clown. But anyways, in the center here of the end, we have a stars. And we have these beacons here, just so I have the beacon effects here. And we have an Ender Melon farm there that's currently broken because I killed my Endermite accidentally by spawning the Wither down here. Because we have a way to cheese the Wither down here, but we also can convert dirt into mud, you can see, or convert concrete powder, and the Wither destroys that for us, so we don't have to use the pickaxe to mine or TNT, whatever. Just use the Wither here. And down here I also have some stuff that I have in bulk, like stuff, for example, of deep slate, double deep slate, sandstone, whatever. We have a lot, and it's not in the netherite temple that I showed before. We have it in here. And we have this storage that I really like this storage. I mean, could be faster, could be chunk loaded, but we can't chunk load in the end, so it's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's just put a bunch of garbage here. The storage will sort everything. Yeah, and now let's fly away, unload the storage and break everything. Because in the gateways we have some stuff. So for example, here we have a villager trading halls for some professions. Like here I have a fisherman because I like buying campfires. This one is the librarians that I usually buy books, but we also have a sugarcane farm here to trade the paper. And these guys are purity, that they have one paper for one emerald. There is a zombie somewhere, I think it's here. I used to zombify them and cure them. This one is for the farmers, also zombified until we have one potato, one carrot, one pumpkin, one melon for one emerald. This is the main way used to get emerald. On this one we have masons that I mostly use to buy quartz. I like using quartz for building, if you can't tell. And this next one is for the clerics. That of course we buy headstone, lapis, glowstone, chanting bottles, whatever else they sell, I don't know. And recently I did this one for the Fletchers, and I got all the tipped arrows, and I still have some spots here and still breeding some there. But yeah, I got all the tipped arrows already, so in theory I don't need to get more villagers, but I will complete this eventually, soon. Soon TM. On this other portal here, we have the iron farms. And I also was testing using iron golems to spread the skulk here, killing Enderman. And mine the endstone, and actually is kinda useful. Of course, you do have to build some iron farms before you wanna do this in your main end island. Here didn't work very well because the Enderman also spawn outside this area here, so yeah. And you do have to spread a lot of catalysts, so you need a warden farm, so yeah. But anyways, this is Namebone's iron farm. I built this a while ago to get iron. So yeah, it's just to get iron. That's usually what you use iron farms for. But hey, maybe you wanna use it to spread Skulky. And the next gateway is a furnace array I did that I designed, and this melts one shulker box in 1 minute. There is some slight disadvantage, like it's very lag, and also you do need to use a full shulker, or it doesn't really work. I mean, it does work sometimes, but if you have a stack that has less than 5 items, it will not activate the minecart, so it's kind of cringy, but it works, okay? This other gateway, we have a place to breed bees, so we can get a lot of ivies and what's called nests or hives full of bees. And this farm here is to farm wax, right? Honeycomb, so we can make candles or honey blocks. I built this initially to make my nether hub because I needed a lot of honeycomb blocks. So yeah, it's a huge farm to produce honeycomb very fast, and I usually spend time here farming some trees while the bees are working, because I don't AFK in this world. And next we have the honey block farm here, or honey bottles. We farm a lot of honey bottles here, and you can just craft into honey block, and then you place the empty glass bottles here, and there's a minecart comes here and he fills the farm. Yeah, by the way, this farm and the honeycomb farm are my designs. You can find in my YouTube channel the tutorial for those farms. And another farm I designed is the Skulk farm here, that of course uses an Enderman farm, and you can also use it to farm just the veins, or if you want the blocks and the sensors, breakers, all you have to do is click this lever and the stone generators will start generating, and you just get a netherite hole with silk touch and get all the blocks. But yeah, that's it for the world tour. Thanks for watching. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch if you wanna keep seeing what I'm gonna build in this world. And thank you everyone that already follows and subscribe and watch on YouTube and Twitch, and helps me build this world. Bye!